For years, state leaders and school districts have been grappling with methods to keep teachers in schools. A recent report out of Michigan State University might offer a solution. Joining us to talk about this report is Armen Hratchian, the Executive Director for Teach for America Detroit. Thank you for being here. I know you'd rather be talking about the Tigers.
I just took the lead.
We got to talk about teachers. Okay,
Yes.
so tell me about this report. What are the big findings?
Yeah, I mean, in the short term, the Tigers are what matters. In the long term, our kids' future is what matters more, right?
True.
And in Michigan right now, what this report finds is we have a significant teacher attrition issue. Teachers are experiencing burnout all around the country, and that's largely driven by the experience that teachers are having in classrooms with greater workloads, less support, and teacher pay is way down. Across the country and in Michigan, we have dropped 20%. When counting inflation, pay has declined 20%. And today, if you're a teacher, if you were going to go pursue a different career, you would see a 20% boost in your pay, right? And so we have an issue here in Michigan.
I feel like any teacher watching this is like, yeah, that's not news.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And the good news is, here's some good news.
Okay.
Our legislature, our governor, both sides of the aisle, by the way, see that this is an issue, right? And they've done a lot of work to try to incentivize new teachers to come into this workforce. But Teach for America, a few years ago, 4 years ago, we launched a program that focused on investing into the retention and development of the current teachers that we already have, our very best that are in our schools, in particular in our highest poverty schools across the state, first in Detroit and then across the state. And what we found when boosting teacher pay and providing really high quality professional development, retention rates go up extremely high, right? We're at 95% of folks that have been in our program are staying in the classroom. So what the Michigan State report is showing, what we're finding is that when we invest more deeply into our educators and value them, they want to be in this profession, they stay.
It seems like it makes sense. Pay teachers more, right. They're willing to stay. It's not as simple as that, I'm guessing. Why aren't we already doing this?
It's not as simple as that, maybe because, you know, school money goes, it's limited, right? And it goes to a lot of things right now. But I think what we want to persuade legislators and others to think about is what does it take to look at our education system and teachers as the most important talent investment this state could be making, right? Regardless of sectors, there's nothing more important than the highest quality teachers being in front of our kids every day. There's nothing more important for the kids today in those classrooms, nothing more important for Michigan's future.
What else are we hearing that is causing the retention rates to drop? Aside from pay, you mentioned their workloads are really overloaded. Anything else that's causing this?
Yeah, I mean, I think coming off the pandemic, we know that student mental health has been challenging. We know that behavior has been challenging, and that's nothing to do with families or kids, right? Yes, that's the world we are in right now, but teachers need more support, right? And that means counselors, that means more teachers for every student that we have in the buildings. We need to do more to make this a profession that really focuses on getting the very best out of the kids in front of us every day, not just trying to get through the day.
Right. Was there anything aside from better pay that was going to incentivize teachers to stick it out?
Yeah, we at Teach Michigan, this initiative we launched, we do high quality professional development, and when we focus that professional development, it's focused around alongside peers in other buildings, learning alongside them, focusing that professional development on things that really matter in the classroom, not just checking the box that you went to professional development, but focusing on teacher wellness, focusing on skills that you can deploy in the classroom. And when teachers feel efficacy, when they feel like they can do their very best job for their students, they want to be in that classroom.
I feel like teachers being undervalued is something we've talked about forever. You know, teachers are never paid enough. What's it going to take for them to actually be given what they deserve?
Well, I think that we need some bold moves in our legislature and you know, by the governor. I think, again, the governor, the legislature have done good work here, but it's about saying that this is no longer just an education issue. If Michigan cannot invest into our greatest teachers and create a world-class education for all of our kids, we'll continue to fall behind. When I was just up north in Sault Ste. Marie this last weekend, where we have deep investment in the educators up there, right? Teacher attrition is all over the state. And I'm driving across the Mackinac Bridge, and you look around and you just think, like, we have the most incredible natural assets in the country, right? Maybe in the world. If we just match that with a world-class education system, our state would be thriving, right? So I hope now is the time we're learning from all these different pilot projects that the state has invested into. Now's the time to really advance those.
All right, Armen Hratchian, thank you so much for being with us. We'll let you get back to watching the Tigers game.
Go Tigers.
I know you're worried about what you missed. Appreciate it.